Alright, hello and welcome to another episode of the Dragon Yawn. I'm Stephen Mike.
I'm Robert Aldrich.
And we're coming to you from our sponsors today in the mats of Tactical Kung Fu and Mixed Martial Arts located
in Durham, North Carolina.
I'm always doing that.
I know.
I'm always getting it wrong. I just need it on both sides.
That's true.
From now on.
Yes.
But yes, so this is going to be the last podcast for the year. Okay? It's like 2 weeks, okay? And then it's like
a podcast. There's a video component.
Video podcast. That's because I like to see myself.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
It's
just
a lovely haircut. I'm very envious of it.
Not just hear myself because I like the sound of my voice, but I want to see me too. Right? Because I'm not vain at all. Right. And so so we're here, and this is gonna be the last video podcast for 2018. Okay. And we are going to tell you our top 10. We've come up with our top 10 list. And this is going to be a top 10 list of topics for top 10 lists. Okay, let me repeat that. Top 10 list of topics for top 10 lists. So if these are not the lists, you feel free to, on the comments, just be like, hey, this is the top 10 for that list. Right. We're just giving you the topics. Right. These are lists that we
top
wish.
10, the top 10 lists.
Yeah. This is, and half of them are top 10 lists that we wish happened. All right. Maybe they do exist. I don't know. I didn't actually consult the Google about this.
None of them exist.
So,
none of them. Not a one.
That's going to be our main topic, but very first, before we even get to that, I do want to talk about a really cool thing about Robert's writing and what he's doing now for one of your characters. Actually, his character is Rest.
R-H-E-S-T.
And he's in the first book of Rest for the Wicked, which you can buy where?
Amazon or elsewhere, but Amazon.
Mostly Amazon.
Mostly.
And you can also check out his website, which is
teachthesky.com.
Yes.
So, in about a week and a half at the time of this recording, I am going to be kicking off a Kickstarter to be raising money to shoot a Rest short film. I have a script ready, I have a production company ready, everything is good to go, we just need the money. So, there's going to be a 6-week campaign to raise the money to shoot this film. The Kickstarter will end on Valentine's Day so that we can celebrate with chocolate. And there will be more information shortly. You can check out teachthesky.com for that. This is going to be about a 6 to 8 minute short. Again, we've got a production company. Everything is lined up. We just need the funding. So if you are interested in seeing some new voices in sci-fi fantasy and sci-fi in cyberpunk, and to see a new genre start to come back, then check out this Kickstarter and maybe donate. Maybe let's spread some noise.
Definitely donate.
That will be starting in right at about 10 days from now.
Nice. So yeah, definitely donate. The thing is, his writing style lends itself really well to the visual media of like TV and movies and like even animated stuff. So like it's there. As a person who loves film, when I read his books, I'm like, yeah, I can see this being put on screen somewhere. So it is fresh for the picking. If you're a movie producer or producer of any kind and you're looking for some fresh IP,
check this out.
Yeah, he's got a lot.
There will be more information in the coming days and weeks at teachthesky.com. There will be links to the Kickstarter there. Please check it out.
We'll probably talk about it some more in here.
I would love that.
So please do. Yeah. Do you have any actors lined up for it?
We do. There are not any names currently slated, and also that's going to depend on when it actually goes into production. We have. Right now, it is currently planned for a 3-person performance. This is a new and original story, so if you've read Rest for the Wicked, this is not going to be a segment from it. This is a new story. It's not any of the short stories that have been on the website. And there's a 3-person goal. We're not releasing who is going to be playing Rest, because, hey, we haven't entirely decided yet. We've got a short list to work from.
I vote for Josh Brolin.
Yeah, Josh Brolin. Yeah, we'll get right on that.
Let's get Thanos.
Cable. This is going to be an entirely new group. This is a new production, or not a new production company, but this is also trying to give as much me get out there as it is to get other people out here. We're going to try to have fresh faces, people that are new to the scene and are coming up. So this is going to be about a lot of opportunities for a lot of different people. It's not just an opportunity for me. It's for the production company, for the actors. So I'm really excited about it. And
can I be an extra? Be in
If we shoot it in North Carolina, right now we're actually
that's
planning to
right.
shoot in California.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, a little bit away.
Yeah, far away.
But in the meantime, because I want to talk about some of these.
Top 10, yes. So we're
Let's
5 minutes into it.
There we go.
I'm gonna lead off with you, man.
All right, so
hit me with your top 10.
The top 10 list that
I haven't heard these yet, so this is like
I haven't
fresh,
heard those either.
fresh reaction. He literally just made these up before I hit record.
What?
At least I made mine up last night.
It's true.
But I had so much fun doing it.
The first top 10 list that I would love to see somebody talk about is top 10 martial arts tools. As a personal training wonk, as a strength and conditioning kind of semi-coach, I really love the actual tools that are used when it comes to martial arts. And people often misunderstand how to use a tool, like the heavy bag, for example. People look at the heavy bag and they think this is about building power. You build power, but building power is a byproduct. It's actually about training footwork. The Wing Chun dummy, the Mukjong doll, same thing. It's not about hand positioning, it's about balance. It's about footwork.
Speaking of balance, we're on yoga balls.
Yay! Or they're not yoga balls, they're bouncy balls. So, I love top 10 lists about that kind of thing, but after the heavy bag, after like the Mukjong doll, the lists start to dwindle quickly. Do you include the double end bag? Do you include the speed bag? No one's going to include the speed bag. Speed bags are silly. It improves hand speed. Yeah, so does sparring. Get in the ring, you fool. That's really what my top 10 list would be. Top 10 martial arts training tools.
All right, so we got one. What's the next one?
I'm going all 10?
I thought
we were going to go back and forth.
Okay. I'm saving the best for last.
Oh, is that what's happening? Okay.
My entire list.
Oh, okay. Another thing is the top 10 TV shows that need to make a comeback. Look, if you are not familiar with Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future, you are missing out. If you're not familiar with Jason the Wheeled Warriors, if you're not familiar with Centurions, all of these franchises, you're really missing out. We are in a golden age of reimaginings, of relaunches and reboots. You know, Transformers has had all these movies, some of them good.
Firefly.
No, Firefly's still kind of working. Now, if you were to do another story in the Firefly universe,
which you wholly can.
Yeah, but I don't want to see the cast of the Serenity revisited. Let's, new characters, but in the same universe, I'd be on board. But there were a lot of great TV shows, especially coming out of the 80s, for a variety of reasons, that are absolutely ripe to be retransformed and to be redone. Visionaries, Inhumanoids, oh my sweet mercy, all of these great shows, they really need to make that happen, and everybody's remaking, everything.
Yeah.
So why not go to the well and find some of these franchises that were really, really excellent, failed for one small reason that you could get around now.
Oh yeah, totally. And the special effects allow for a lot of these things to be very possible now.
Totally.
Like really cheap, like stuff that was like you had to spend billions of dollars on effects and movies like 10 years ago are now being done on television. I mean, that's like the technology is expanded tremendously.
And you don't even have to think about TV shows. Think about movies. Like imagine something like The Last Starfighter. Imagine if you were to do a sequel / reboot of that, but you had essentially an old school gamer versus a modern gamer. There's a lot there. Just because something is a remake doesn't mean it can't have tremendous artistic and social value. You can get a lot of mileage out of the exact same story with bringing in fresh voices and fresh perspectives.
All right, so what's your next one?
Next one are changes to the Olympics. I love the Olympics. They happen once every 4 years because the Winter Olympics aren't the Olympics. Downhill skiing counts.
What
and
about curling?
No, okay, look, if it has to be ruled by judges, it's not a sport. Okay? Look, I love figure skating. Figure skating is great stuff and is fantastic stuff, and they are phenomenal athletes. And it is competitive, but it is not a sport. Okay? If it goes to a judge's decision, it's not a sport. And so I would love to see this kind of thing. I would love to see old school athletics come back as well. Back in the day, meaning the 1900s or farther, bodybuilding used to be more than just pumping up your body and getting good vascularity and good muscle size. It was a whole array of activities, including calisthenics, gymnastics, powerlifting, wrestling, boxing. It was this full gamut of things. And then there was the posing period. And Joe Weider's the one who took that away and just kind of focused on that in isolation. But I would love to see it go back to that. Let's go back to bodybuilding being an Olympic sport, but the original definition. So you had to do handstands, you had to do cartwheels, you had to do iron crosses, that kind of thing.
You had to touch your toes?
I know, right? And some modern bodybuilders are phenomenal athletes. Some of them could definitely excel at this.
And touch their toes.
Yeah, but a lot of the sport has gotten to the point where it's too focused on aesthetics and nothing else. But if you have the component of movement as well, stop pointing at my bald spot. You know I'm self-conscious about it.
I can't really point that way because my hand's all
That's
screen.
a good point.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'd like to see that. Again, I'd like to see it get away from, if it's got to be judged, it's not a sport. Competitive. I will definitely concede it's competitive, but it's not a sport. Tennis. Y'all need to get a ranking and grading system that makes sense and a scoring system that makes sense. You get a point, you get 2 points, you get an arithmetic progression. 15 love is not a score.
But it's good love.
I hate you so much.
Is that a top 10 or was that just a rant?
Yeah, whatever. It's part of the Olympics thing.
Or is this part of the,
tennis is an Olympic sport, isn't it?
No.
It's not?
I don't think it is.
Oh, thank God. There's justice in the world.
That was just a rant.
Yeah, a little bit. I feel very strongly about it. So,
apparently.
Next top 10 list.
We got number 6?
Yeah, sure, why not? Martial arts myths that need to be dispelled. The farther I go in the martial arts world, the more I've realized a lot of our perceptions of the martial arts are really, really misguided. And one of those comes from not understanding the context in which martial arts techniques, whatnot, evolved. The idea that a lot of what has informed martial arts progression and evolution throughout the last 100 years really has less to do with any martial artness and more to do with marketing and awareness. The distinction between like judo and karate, as one is striking and one is throwing, is really quite arbitrary, and it's really the result of, again, kind of advertising, which is fine.
And sports. There are some sports that are like, we're only doing just this,
right.
And that is great, but then a lot of people don't realize there's way more to it
than
just that.
And you see this in BJJ and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. A lot of the guys, there was a podcast I was watching a while back, a few months ago, where these BJJ coaches, a guy wrote them and was like, I've been doing BJJ for years and I got into a fight and I got my ass kicked. What happened? And they were like, you've been doing sport BJJ, which is good stuff, very, very effective, very, very practical, but it's still in a context of sports training. And if you're training at a real BJJ school, they're going to be counterbalancing that with street training, with combatives, and the two build off one another and do very well. And if you've got a good sport background, you can transition to self-protection very quickly. But they are not the same thing.
Yeah, and there's plenty of self-defense to be found in almost any physical sport. I mean,
right.
Gosh, there's a whole lot of self-defense applications to playing baseball.
Yep.
Baseball is way more fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So, like, you have to... I think that's more of an instructor thing. Like, they have to know what is what so they can inform the people.
And they also have to... And you also have to be clear when you're teaching and when you're learning. What am I learning now? Is this sport exclusive, or am I learning it for a sport context? And you have to do it just a little bit differently for it to work in the street, etc. That kind of thing. That's what I mean. You can make a whole list of this. Another one that's becoming increasingly my pet is Taekwondo.
Our pet peeve.
Yeah. And I have no background in Taekwondo. I've done very little studying of it, but
the TKT.
Taekwondo does not get enough love that it deserves. A lot of people will attack it because it doesn't do well in a mixed martial arts context, which I understand why people would say it's not a good martial art, and they're misunderstanding the context where Taekwondo excels, and they're judging the fish by its ability to fly.
Well, and it's getting the names wrong. It's like this one martial art that does this one thing is not good in this context that requires a mixed martial arts.
Right.
I mean, of course, you can't sit there and say, okay, this one Taekwondo is only good for Taekwondo. It is not a good mixed martial arts because it isn't a mixed martial art.
Right.
That's like saying this car is not good at floating on the ocean because it's not a boat.
Right. And we
Stuff.
could go on and on.
Yeah.
And again, Taekwondo. I'm not trying to sing Taekwondo's praises. I just
Prages?
Praises.
Prages.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Prage Jeebus.
You're getting hate mail for that one.
I know.
I can hear the comments already.
It's all right.
It's just if you want to address issues you have with Taekwondo, address the issues you have with Taekwondo, not some arbitrary application of it. But this also leads into my other list, which is martial arts innovation, specifically kind of in MMA. There's a current discussion going on right now where in UFC, I believe, they're designing new gloves for the UFC. I don't know if they're ever actually going to be implemented, but I think they're probably going to be, and they're dumb.
What do they do?
They're curved. They're basically getting closer to boxing gloves.
Why?
Because somebody got a thumb in the eye. I think it was Bisbane.
Dude, a lot of people have gotten thumbs in the eye.
Yeah.
How about this? You just keep your thumbs in.
Well, but see, here's the thing, and I would love to see MMA go a little to evolve back in the direction where it originally started. The original UFC was a single elimination tournament, so you did not know who you were going to be fighting against. You were going to have multiple fights in the night, and it was bare knuckle. There were 3 rules: no eye gouging, no biting, no groin shots. That was it. Everything else went. And I want to see it move back. I understand why it's gone the direction it has, and I respect it, and that's fine. And it's turned into a sport, made a lot of money. And those guys are tremendous martial artists, tremendous fighters. I'm not denouncing that. But there is room in this world for both of them. Just the same, I'd like to see boxing get rid of the gloves. Go back to bare knuckle boxing or tape.
They've already done a couple of bare knuckle boxing events where like 90% of the people broke their hands.
I bet.
Yeah,
yeah.
They were punching for like they had gloves on.
Yeah, and I mean,
different thing.
And if you make changes, you're gonna have to make allowances for that kind of learning period. And you know that you don't want to go full bare knuckle. That is a bad idea. You are gonna break your hand. But you could do if you did boxing with MMA gloves instead of boxing gloves. That I think would be very, very interesting. Also, we're seeing this resurgent now. I'm connected with the Durham Dyer Drakes and other groups who do full contact European style weapons fighting.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it is. Fun
to watch.
Let's go in that direction. Let's start bringing some of this stuff. We have technology. We have the ability now to better simulate real, true street fighting away from what you see in MMA. We have the ability to simulate. They've got this Australian group down there, UMA, I think it is. They have electric sensor weapons, so you can actually tell when a strike is hit with what force, whether or not it's going to be real, so you're not fighting with essentially magic markers or with chalk. It's all this great stuff, and we could really see the combat sports evolve in fascinating and new directions. I want to see it.
Cool.
You know.
What do we got next?
What do I got next?
What's next on the docket, sir?
Forgive me. So next is movie genres that need martial arts.
Romantic comedies.
You joke, but yes. I think.
Dude, look at Deadpool.
Look at Deadpool, but I think there's a lot of martial arts that would do it. There was a movie with Jimmy Fallon and.
So you're saying comedians need to know martial arts?
I'm not saying comedians. I'm saying that films in general need a physical component to them that is not being served right now. When you have part of what makes like an adventure movie different from an action movie is the diversity of tasks. What makes Raiders of the Lost Ark different from, say, Enter the Dragon is Indiana Jones isn't just fighting people. He's also having to jump stuff. He's having to climb stuff. He's having to run away from stuff. He's having to talk his way through things. That diversity, we can see that in romantic comedies.
I think they should totally have like medical dramas that also surround martial arts.
Yes. I think
and comedies.
That would be fun
just
too.
Put them all together, see what comes out. That's awesome.
Imagine a procedure.
I'd watch that.
Ranma One Half, the long-running comic series by Rumiko Takahashi, it's a great legendary martial arts comedy in Japan. They have several times where they talk about the role of martial artists in traditional Japan was also to be kind of a paranormal investigator almost.
Really?
Yeah. I'm game. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's have more of that kind of thing. And the television series Supernatural, the Winchester brothers are these phenomenal fighters, but they rarely, if ever, address how they train.
So
I find that fascinating.
You want a Constantine that kicks butt.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Constantine already kicks butt as it is.
But he doesn't. He does it with spells. And
True.
Not with fists.
All right. So related to that,
I want a mixture of Constantine and Iron Fist.
There we go. I don't want to mix anything with Iron Fist. I'm just saying. Maybe the Iron Fist on the comics, but not the...
Don't judge Iron Fist based on one live action portrayal.
Fair enough. So that also leads to my next top 10 list that I want to see, which is crossovers.
Oh.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe has illustrated beautifully, and the DC Cinematic Universe has illustrated that you can get a lot of mileage out of crossing over stuff. Now, the CW Arrowverse has done masterful work with this. And again, the Marvel, the MCU, great stuff. We can go beyond this. Imagine if Sex and the City and Die Hard took place in the same universe. Imagine if the Jay and Silent Bob movies took place in the same universe as the Road movies. Bill Cosby and... Was it Bing Crosby he was paired with?
The Vacation movies?
Yeah, no, not the Vacation. The Road to Diablo and Bill Cosby.
Murray?
No.
I don't know that many Bills. There's Bill Shatner.
Crap. Bob Hope.
Bob Hope.
Bob Hope. Bob Hope did a whole bunch of these movies, and Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin, and some of those. There was a. So you've got the new Hawaii Five-0 TV series. Not new, it's been out for like 7 seasons. And they did a shot-for-shot remake of an episode from the original Hawaii Five-0. Imagine if they had a case that they had to investigate that was actually somehow an extension or connected to an old Dragnet episode. There's a lot of stuff we could do, so many crossovers. Crossovers do not need to be limited to comic books. I love comic movies, God bless them, more power to them. But we could do so many great crossovers. Imagine if, again, episode of Grey's Anatomy somehow connected to Casablanca.
If Winnie the Pooh could team up with Pikachu.
I know you're joking, but I would pay so much money for that.
It would be great, wouldn't it? You'd be like, oh, bother.
I would.
Pikachu would be like, no.
Pika, pika. So, next is top 10 underrated movies. I'm going to tell you the number one underrated movie of all time is Street Fighter. Yes, with Raul Julia. That movie does not get enough credit.
No, it doesn't. And Raul Julia's a freaking phenomenal actor regardless of what he's in. So. And
man, when he's chewing the scenery, it's going to be great. I know there's been a million top 10 underrated movies. There's always going to be more. Art appreciation is a wonderful thing. We need more of it. That's what I'm saying. So, the next is top 10 traditions that need to come back. I really want to see a whole bunch of stuff. I very much look towards the future. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking towards the idea of like automation when we don't have to have jobs. When you can just kind of be like, your life can be guided by your own initiative and your own ambition and not the need to just subsist. That said, there are some traditions that go back. I want to go back to dueling. Not dueling to the death. Not like...
Did we lose a president that way?
They tried.
I mean...
They tried... No, Andrew Jackson. Some guy shot him. And, he beat the dude to death. It just made him mad. He hulked out or something. Because that's what happens when you're a genocidal maniac.
That's what presidency should be about.
A little bit, yeah.
One-on-one, you duke it out.
But I do...
Just go that way and settle this.
Society as a whole is really based around the diffusing of responsibility. And there's a lot of benefit to that. A lot of benefit to that. I cannot stress that enough. But I do also feel that there is benefit to going back to the old days when you could do kind of these direct confrontations. I do not want people going around picking fights. I do not want people going around the might makes right thing. There's a big problem with that.
1 minute disclaimer here.
Yeah, but there are a lot of old traditions that I wish we could go back to. There are elements of the past that are wonderful. Another great thing. I wish we had rites of passage in growing up. Right now, it's so hard to be a kid these days, especially these days. It's so hard. The fact that you don't have a clear demarker of you are now a teen, you are now, a whatever.
And it's so hard to tell the teens from the adults because, like, hey, you're 20-something, but you're acting like this 14-year-old.
Right, and I think part of that's the clear demarcation. And I think there'd be some real benefit to that of, here is this thing that you do and you are now considered an adult, or you are now no longer at least considered a child, and so on and so on. I feel there's benefit for that. There aren't specific traditions I really have in mind per se, but yeah. All right, and last.
Get the last one.
I think the last one.
We're at the last one.
All right, the last one.
List.
My top 10 list of the top 10 things that need to be happen, and that is characters that need to be represented in Transformers Combiner Wars. Look, I think I've been very clear online on my blog, on my social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on all those different places. I don't want to oversell this, but the Combiner Wars tie line is the absolute best thing that has ever happened to humanity. This is the greatest toy line. Like, it is the 5,000 years of toy development has been leading to this moment.
Best thing since sliced bread.
We don't have enough characters. We don't have enough figures. We need more characters. How are you going to have a Transformers line and Megatron is not part of the actual Combiner group? They had a Megatron figure that was part of it, but you couldn't combine. How are you not going to have and make...
We're being all chill. It's the end of the year. We're just relaxing. We're talking about what we like to see. You're just going on rants and tirades. Look at this. He's just like, no, I'm right.
I know. You're right.
So what did I say? Woosa.
Woosa. There we go. I'm not rubbing my ears. Don't play that game. My head's bald enough as it is.
You know what I'm referencing?
No, I know what you're referencing. Yeah, I understand.
Just finished watching that.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I love this.
Michael Bay is chief nihilistic. All right, so that is my top 10 list in rant form.
Rant form.
What you got?
Very much rant form.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
All right, so let's get my list.
All right,
here.
All right. I have not heard these. I have not seen these, and I'm sure I'm in no way going to regret that.
All right, so my number 10 on my list of top 10 topics that I wish were top 10 lists are methods to take out the Mike Tyson clan. Because, the Volt Clan, man, we were at war with the Mike Tysons. And the last thing we tried didn't really work because we thought we had them. We put glitter in their gloves. We glitter bombed their gloves. Turned out they liked that sucker. Right? Every time they punch something, it's a big poof of glitter. So they turned it into a sport. Right? Two opponents enter the ring. They both have opposing different colors of glitter. They duke it out. If it goes to a decision, the person with the most of their opponent's glitter on them is the loser. So, we inadvertently started glitter boxing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I need a list of good ways to take them out, because...
I understand. Okay, totally on board.
Yeah.
Does anyone know what he's talking about?
You should. If you've seen all my podcasts, you should know what I'm talking about. The rest of the members in my clan do.
I believe... Okay, I understand.
Yeah, so that's my first top 10 list.
Fair enough.
Right.
Okay.
So, my next one, number 9, are martial arts, or top 10 martial art names that could be on a menu. Yeah. So you have to understand that a lot of people really don't know, like, the martial arts. If it's not karate or kung fu or even taekwondo, for the most part, they have no idea what it is. I mean,
two sides of Krav Maga.
Yeah, I was just like, go into a restaurant and be like, I want an order of a one-hop kendo with fried rice and some chicken, maybe some judo dumplings, some jiu-jitsu stew, some Muay Thai on the side, right? And have
not too spicy though.
Not too spicy. When you can, I want a little bit of Kempo on the rocks to drink. I want the for dessert, we're going to have kali with a little bit of a screamo put on top. Yeah. And I probably can't finish all of that, so you need to rust me up some boxing so I can take my leftovers home.
There we go.
Yeah. So it all connects.
Get two sides of Kung Tao with some savate.
Exactly. It's just like it rolls off the tongue. Might as well be.
That was more tumbling, but yeah.
So this is my number 9. All right. My number 8, top 10 list of animals that should have their own kung fu style. All right, I definitely think this one should be there, especially since martial arts are supposed to be evolving over time, right? You know, we should have something like the honey badger style.
Oh,
yeah. Or the gecko style. It could just be like a really small version of the dragon style, right? And one I definitely think they should, like, maybe even the platypus style, because that would be funny. And you have drunken
I mean,
boxing.
nothing but like thumbs in the eyes. That's all it is.
But it'd be something. I mean, you have the drunken boxing style, maybe the platypus style.
Fair enough.
The one I really do think they should have, and I think I've already seen it exist, and so have you, is the house cat style.
Yes. Yeah.
Because like that is legit for real. We got a lady who trains here, and like most of the time it's a lazy cat style, but then you make her mad, and then it's an angry cat style, and it's a bad day.
Yeah.
Because she kick you in the groin, punch you in the face, and then apologize. I'm like, who loves kitty?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Even
I'm with you.
Some of the little girls in the kids class too. They're already doing that. Meow meow.
Yeah.
Meow.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, they're ferocious.
Yeah, so I definitely...
Yeah, anybody ever says you fight like a girl, that is a compliment.
Yeah, definitely. Any animals you would like to see?
No, I think the platypus would be the most interesting one. Little thumb to the eye. Yeah.
Platypi paw.
Mm-hmm. Actually, there's something there.
Yeah.
I would be like, there's some real merit to that. I could genuinely get on board with that.
Yeah, I think it could work. You know. All right, so my number 7, okay? Top 10 spatial bodies that should be called planets, okay? And honestly, this kind of comes from Pluto, because I'm like, is it a planet? Is it not a planet? Somebody make up their mind. I feel like they're like in Hesh. They're like, I'm out of men. Can't decide. Make a decision. I don't care which way. Just like, Pluto should always be a planet, but I'm not just extending this to outer space. Like, there are some people that I think should be classified as planets as well. I don't
like where this is going.
Because, like, if you look at Jeff, he's 300 pounds of muscle. That man should be reclassified as a planet.
Oh.
I mean, do you not disagree? I mean, and I think he would enjoy that. Because then he would add that to his title. So
there's got to be a tax break in there somewhere.
Master Planet Jeff, or Planet Master Jeff.
I like Master Planet.
Or yeah. Jeff, the Master of Planets. He could have his own theme song.
There we go. I like
by
that.
Metallica. So I'm pretty sure he'd be on board with
that.
Yeah, he'd be on board with that.
I think so
and
too.
Like I said, he's 300 pounds of muscle.
Yeah,
and he knows martial arts, man. So
he's a big dude.
Yeah, so
I like that.
So spatial bodies that should be planet. And you have anything to add to that? Because you might know more about space than I do.
No, I do kind of want. There's a couple of asteroids that we really need to call planets. Like, they're just bigger than the moon. They're bigger than Pluto. Like, we just need to own up onto it.
Okay.
So I'm totally on board with that. But I definitely think we need to downgrade Venus. It's not a planet. You know what you did.
I don't know about that. I mean, let's just keep it that way. I like having my planets. So, anyways, what am I? Number 6. Okay. So. Number 6, the top 10 reasons to remove subtitles. Okay, I'm just not a big fan of subtitles. I think, if anything, they should have a little person on the bottom of the screen doing sign language, right? Because then I would be forced to learn sign language. But I can't, like, read and watch a movie and eat at the same time. It's really big. If I go to a movie theater, I'm fine with the whole watching and reading. I can do this as 2 things. But when you add a third thing in the mix, I just can't do it. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm watching, you're already laughing at me. 9 times out of 10, when I'm watching at home, I'm eating, and so it's a matter of watching, reading, and eating. It's just, there's too much going on there. I can't do it.
I love how you oscillated from, like, this is dumb, to that makes sense, to this is dumb. Wait a minute, he's onto something, dude. No, this is dumb. Oh my god, that's brilliant. Oh wait, we're back here. Oh my god.
It's how my mind works, man. I think that, honestly, I think subtitles are just way too complicated.
Does it matter what you're eating? Like, if you're eating Chinese, that's clearly out because you're using chopsticks. But like, if it's pizza, it's okay.
No, it's just eating in general. I can't watch, read, and eat. It's like trying to juggle and masturbate at the same time.
What the hell, man?
It's just too many balls in the air. I mean, you can't do it. It's just not physically possible.
Oh my god.
I mean, most guys, they have a brain and a penis and only enough blood to run one at a time. And juggling takes a whole lot of brain power, in my
Why
opinion.
are we friends? See, this wouldn't be so bad if we hadn't already talked about the fact that we're on bouncy balls right now.
Alright, so, okay. I'll skip to my next top 10 in that case, alright? Are you okay? Alright, number 5. Top 10 reasons to play golf.
If you say anything about balls, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
It's just, it's a manly sport, man. You gotta be really tough. It takes a lot of balls to play golf.
God
damn. It's so hard to keep a straight face so I can see your reaction. I'm like, really?
You know I play golf, right? Like
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
You play
I like
golf?
it. Yeah.
He plays golf.
Yeah, I got a golf set and everything. Like it's fun for like I can't like play golf. I've got like 3 like holes in me. Like I can't play a full 18 rounds, but like a 9 hole I can probably do. Like going to the driving range is a lot of fun. Like the driving range and like the putting range is really fun.
Because you get to hit other people's balls. Which brings me to my my next top 10. I think I'm on number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4 is top 10 reasons to not play golf, which is hitting your own balls. Most guys don't like that. It's just not cool.
Yeah,
Plus,
but sometimes if you pay extra for it, it's really good.
But like, you get a crooked stick and you have to whack the thing in a gopher hole, and it's like they're pulling an Admiral Akbar on you, and they're putting traps everywhere. You know, trying to. It's just. I mean, I'm waiting for like the Hunger Games version of golf. Like you have this really big like reed grass, and your ball goes in there, and there may or may not be velociraptors in there. You know, it's just like
that would be a lot more fun.
You don't only have to try to get the ball in hole, but you can also take out the other guy behind you.
Yeah, take that, Phil Mickelson. Everybody
Right?
likes your left-handed ass.
Yeah, and so that's my number 4. My number 3 is the top 10 dead comedians that you wish were president right now.
Lenny Bruce!
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Hands down, like, I wanted him when he was alive. And I'd still vote for him now. I think in the next election, if it comes down to what they did in the last election, then everybody should get together and write in Robin Williams. Because I feel like that would be a fitting obituary for him, even though he's gone, and be like, hey, man, we elected Robin Williams as president. I know he would be laughing.
That'd be a good accomplishment.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
Did he ever get an Academy Award?
Yes, he did.
Oh,
Good
good.
Will Hunting.
Okay. It'd be nice if he also got the presidency.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, you can still do this.
Posthumously.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
There you go.
For some reason, I was thinking posthumous or something like that. I'm just not thinking the right word at all.
That has because you just have really high fiber in that case.
Yeah. So, like, what other comedians can you think of?
George Carlin.
George Carlin.
I'm
thinking Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield. I don't feel like he'd have the leadership, but his foreign policy
because he gets some respect.
It's true.
Yeah.
And maybe.
What about Dan Aykroyd?
Is Dan Aykroyd dead?
Is he? I thought
so.
he is.
I don't think so.
Because that dude from Ghostbusters. No.
You're thinking of Harold Ramis.
Yeah, Egon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think Dan Aykroyd's still around. Hey, Dan Aykroyd, can you let us know if you're okay?
Yeah, and run for president if you are.
Yeah, there you go. The other thing was also Pryor, Richard Pryor. I don't think he'd make a good president, but it'd be fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hands down, Richard Pryor.
But yeah,
that's a good pull. I like that.
Again, I think he'd be a bad president, but I think he'd at least own up to it. I think it'd be interesting.
Oh, what about Groucho Marx? Talk about somebody who would own up to it.
Oh yeah. Well, if we're gonna do that, Lucille Ball.
Oh.
She actually, like, all joking aside, I think she'd make a great president.
Yeah. Wait, is she dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she died. You know, she's the reason there's a Star Trek.
No.
Yeah.
She sidetracked. Tell me this story.
So no, Desilu Productions was Des Arnaz and Lucille Ball was their production house.
They were the ones who made. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She was directly responsible for making and keeping Star Trek on the air for its first season.
Wow.
Yeah, she is genuinely one of the most important people in American history, hands down.
All right. So, Um,
I think I may make a nice segue for you.
Number 2, not quite.
Oh, sorry.
This. Talk about left turns. Okay.
Did you just do the drop it like it's hot dance?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So
Does that mean I'm Pharrell Williams? I don't want to be Pharrell.
Number 2, my top 10 hairstyles for Robert.
Okay, so what we got to do is I'm just going to be here like this. I'm going to stand here like this. It's a
Photoshop.
Yeah,
yes.
freeze the screen and go Photoshop-erific. And anybody who gets me a good mohawk, you win.
I'm about to say he's got the right head for it.
It's true. I do. Look at it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got the eyebrows too.
You should do a freeze frame, like eyebrows down, eyebrows up, eyebrows down, eyebrows up, one eyebrow.
Eyebrows wide, eyebrows narrow. There we go.
Blue steel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There we go. So, Photoshop, get to it.
Oh, awesome.
Post it in the bottom. Whoever wins, wins.
Remember, guys, there is no losing. There's just winning and learning. So, everybody posts whatever.
That was simultaneously inspiring and really, really true.
Exactly. All right. My last one, okay? It's a big one. The top 10 most practical uses for flagellants. I can already think of one, right? I mean,
when you're in jail and your cellmate makes his move.
Well, you know, when you're in a jiu-jitsu tournament and you really want to win and you don't know how. I've seen that happen. You know, the super secret submission by smelling smart part. Shark. Trying to alliterate there. It's like
that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
I've heard of it. I've never seen it. And I don't want to ever see it. Like I feel like that should be grounds for disqualification.
I don't know, man. These using
like
it's
representative.
It's not a chokehold, but it's a choke.
That's true.
Okay.
Representative from the Tiger School was disqualified due to stank ass. I don't want that. Like I do conventions, so I smell swamp ass all the time. I don't want that in martial arts too.
I mean, it's there in some competitions. I mean, but you can also like another practical use would be like having an elevator all to yourself. You know, so there are several different uses for that. I honestly feel like I think society is making that kind of like the social taboo that it is, because I have had the luxury of having kids who are in like they're 5 and 6 years old and they've grown up, and when they first started it was just a giggle. It's just like an instant giggle reaction to it, and then when they got older they were like, oh no, that wasn't me, I just try to downplay that. It's like it's embarrassing, but in martial arts that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Right, you just own up to it. And but really it's like the first initial reaction for most kids is to giggle, and you have to kind of put a stop on that, because once that giggle happens it's like infectious. It's like everybody giggles and it's like 5 minutes of your class is gone. You're like, dude, I got stuff to do, come on guys. And the thing is that it's not just limited to kids. Like some adults do that too. As soon as they let one go they just start giggling. Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
So I would see. This is also why I have house pets. Is if something like that happens and my wife's trying to figure out what happened, I blame it on the dog or one of the cats.
The dog is like, they don't have butt cheeks, so it's like a balloon slowly losing air. It's like.
I know for a fact they do, and I don't want to talk about why I know. So medical technology, where's the drop that you can take to like make your like flatulence smell like Christmas decorations? Like scientists need to get on that, you know, so I could like take a drop, you know, like with Beano or something, and when it comes out it's like, that smells like Mountain Spring freshness.
Potpourri.
Like what the hell? Yeah, exactly.
That should be your next product.
I'll get right on that.
Yeah, and so, but I honestly, I think that's like God's gift to comedy. I think that's like, it's right up there with the platypus. So like you have to laugh at that. I even have, I came across some historical evidence for that. I think it's like the origin of certain cuss words, right?
Okay.
So you have to bear with me, track with me. I want you to visualize this as a story it's biblical story. It doesn't come from the Bible. It comes from like the Dead Sea Scrolls. Like they took it out.
The Apocrypha. Gotcha.
Yeah. And so, Jesus one night is sitting around a fire with all his disciples and Mother Mary. They're sitting there, and Jesus just lets a massive fart rip. Huge. And in most cases, it would be like a wicked fart. It will smell bad, but it's Jesus, right? So it smells like frankincense. Right? And John's sitting next to him. He goes, "Good Lord."
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? That's my will to live shattering like a. Good. There's more.
Yeah, there's totally more because, like, Matthew's off in the distance. He comes running up and he's like, "Jesus Christ, what was that? Was that you? I heard a mountain move." And John, you all right?
Yeah, you just mixed your prophets, but okay.
Yeah. Okay. Matthew was there.
Well, no, but the moving the mountain was Muhammad, not Jesus. Fair enough. Okay, continue.
Yes, and so, he asked if that was him, and Jesus was like, "Nah, man, it's just the Holy Ghost," right? Yes. But I gotta get up and excuse myself and take care of business. So he leaves, and Mother Mary sees this as her opportunity to let a silent one go. All right, she thinks she's safe, but Luke is sitting right next to her, and he's like, "Mary, Mother of God, was that you? That was a terrible stink. How'd you do that? We had the same fish."
I hate you so much. I am not answering the hate mail. All the comments at the bottom of this, they're on.
And see, just at that moment, Andrew comes running up. He's like, "Look, guys, off in the distance, there's a burning bush." And John's like, "Ah, nah, man, it's just Jesus taking a holy crap." Poor Luke's all bewildered. He's just like, "I don't understand. How can he do that? How is his spicy? We had the same fish." And John's like, "Oh man, he got his from the lake of fire. He was doing laps in a speedboat with Spawn. The whole time he was singing, 'Can't touch this. Can't touch this.'"
We detoured there, so
yeah, well, poor Andrew. He's over there going, "What's a Spawn? What's a speedboat? I don't understand." And Jesus, or not Jesus, but John was like, "Well, Jesus just pulled it out of his butt at the last minute because he works in mysterious ways." Perpetual facepalm.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Cheerful Tuesday, all that good stuff. Okay, ending the year on a bang and some fart jokes.
We'll see you in 2019.
Practical uses of
flatulence.
That's
God, I have so many regrets.
We have a whole another year to rectify this.
Yes. We will definitely be paying for it.
Make sure you take a class, tactical kung. I did it again.
I know.
I think I'm gonna forever be like, look at this empty space.
All
right, this side. All right, tactical kung fu, mixed martial arts. On there, you can find direct links to our Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram, and this channel. Okay, be sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff.
Hit the bell to make sure you get notifications when new posts go up.
All right, this has been another episode of the Dragon Yawn. You guys have a safe holiday season. All right, and we'll see you next year. I'm Stephen White.
I'm Robert Aldrich.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Be good to yourselves.